like I said, has just really questioned, just really still affects me to this day. And during the short time that Michelle and I had together, we frequently questioned why our paths crossed. Neither one of us felt that it was a coincidence. She knew that I was put in her life to help her through the emotional aspects of the dying process. And I knew that she was put into my life to educate others regarding the true internal landscape of being transgender. To educate others that being transgender has nothing to do with external appearance. It's not about the look. It's not about the dress. It's not a lifestyle choice. It's not a fetish. And it certainly is not perverse nor a definition of one's sexuality. But during the time that I spent with Michelle, I also had this nagging suspicion that there were additional lessons that I was needing to learn. I kept saying, I know I have to educate people. That's an easy one. That's a given. But I felt that there was more. And after Michelle died, because of I think the profound events that happened, the knowing, the feelings, and everything panning out, kind of how I felt it would, this is what started me down my own spiritual journey. And I started being a sponge for reading books and listening to CDs and going to seminars, and that's when I had my aha moment. I thought, Michelle, yes, she was put in my life so that I could teach others, but she was put in my life to start me on my own archaeological dig, per se, of myself. She was put into my path to awaken my awareness. So I started looking at a few of the lessons that I learned from my teacher and how I could apply them in my own life. And one of the first questions that I began exploring is how did she do it? You know, with all of the adversity that she endured, how was it that she was able to be true to who she was, internally, her authentic self? And not a day has gone by where I have not thought of this question and searched for answers. The conclusions that I came to from the short period of time that I had with Michelle was that through forgiveness, faith, courage, perseverance, commitment, acceptance, and love, anything is possible. Anything. Forgiveness, to give up resentment, to stop being angry with. Michelle did forgive all of those people that hurt her and rejected her. She knew that by letting go of the pain, her healing would begin. I remember asking her just how was it she was able to forgive all of the people that hurt her in her life, and that ridiculed her, that rejected her, that shunned her, that downright pretended that she no longer existed. And her response back to me was very simple. She said, I didn't want to continue my life, living my life with a hardened heart and high walls. I had to forgive to be able to love. I was so tired of existing from a place of resentment and anger. So I thought about this, read about forgiveness, and examined the meaning. And at first, I didn't think I had anything that I needed anybody that I needed to forgive or had any harbored resentments. But the more real that I got with myself, the more I realized, yes, indeed, I did too. I had a few resentments that I needed to let go of. I realized that forgiveness really can be an agent of change. That it's actually a gift that we give to ourselves. And when we're able to forgive, it allows a space within us to open up to higher realms of love, peace, and joy. Courage, taking the action in the presence of fear. Michelle had many, many fears along her journey, but she made a conscious choice to not let her fears stop her. She made the choice to constantly move forward towards her true authenticity in spite of her fears. She felt the fear, and she did it anyway. And for me, courage comes in by doing what it is that I'm doing today. Believe it or not, public speaking is my biggest fear. However, when I compare what courage that Michelle had to have just to walk out that door every single day, just to be true to who she was inside, how could I hide behind my fear and not tell her story? Faith. Substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Michelle had faith in her Maker. She had faith in her path. She had faith in herself, and she had faith in others. And, examining faith, we all have faith in something. Whether it be in our Maker, ourself, others, or what's doing. Or we can have faith in our fear. And faith is really a choice. It's an attitude. The question that we must ask ourselves is how strong or weak is that foundation? And faith has played a huge part in this 4-year journey after Michelle died for me, and I'll get back to that in just a minute. Commitment and perseverance. Facing and overcoming every hurdle, and that nothing but success was an option. To Michelle, success meant living as her true, authentic self, regardless of the opinions of others. Her blindness did not stop her. Her fear of rejection that she faced did not stop her. Her lack of resources did not stop her. Her lack of support did not stop her. Her lack of employment did not stop her. Her lack of access to information did not stop her. Nothing stopped her from being who she knew she was on the inside. She followed that inner knowledge of herself. So I have to look at how I exercised my faith muscle and apply the principles of commitment and perseverance. Well, after Michelle died, I had another one of those knowing moments. I knew that I was meant to write a book about Michelle's journey and my journey with her. And I found it to be quite ironic because I don't like to write. I actually find it very painful, and I really struggle at it, and I really stink at writing, and I'm okay with that. But I sat down and I started somewhere, and I tell you what, not one day has gone by in the last 4 years that my faith has wavered that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, not one. It took me about 2 years to come up with my so-called first draft, which my first draft was probably or somebody else's first draft was probably my 10th. But it was the best that I could do. I had people encouraging me to take creative writing classes, and I said, you don't get it, I don't want to take a creative writing class, I don't like it.